Daniel Fitzpatrick approached me some months ago and asked would I draw together some films from the Irish Film Archive collection that would be of interest for a WICKLOW audience, and more particularly we needed to draw on films that were silent for this silent film festival. So it was an interesting challenge. WICKLOW has featured often in films because Ardmore is here in WICKLOW, because WICKLOW folks tended to be fortunate enough to be able to afford cameras and film stock. It was always a sport not quite of kings but of the well-to-do. So there are many film collections that have been made within WICKLOW that we could have drawn from. But the challenge was to bring together a programme that would show different aspects of life in WICKLOW, and I think we managed to do that quite well. It was a treat to put together a programme for a venue of this age and of this splendour, because you can imagine that people who lived in the house here might well have shown films for entertainment purposes in the 20s and 30s. So we very much are recreating the experience of coming together and watching films in, I suppose, a non-theatrical capacity. These are films that wouldn't have been shown in cinemas but would have been shown in town halls or big houses or schools and so on. So there is a nice marriage of the location with the film programme. I've worked in the Irish Film Archive for many, many years, and it's a great privilege. The collection is concerned exclusively with Irish material, and it's concerned mostly with films made by Irish people. And there hasn't ever been, until recent years, a very strong tradition of professional production in Ireland. So the kinds of films that are in the collection are very often non-professional films that do document Irish society as much as Irish cinematic art in a way that's very rich. And every viewing of a film is a new experience. Every viewing with new audiences is very rewarding, because there is this process of recognition and adding new layers of understanding to the material as new audiences see it and they catalogue with us. So it's a very exciting job to be in, and certainly the business of preservation is costly and time consuming. The business of storage in the correct vaults is something that we're very pleased with how we've achieved, but the business of bringing them back to audiences is the most exciting aspect of it, I think. When I began with the archive, it was very embryonic. It was the very beginnings of the National Film Collection, and it's very exciting to see how it's grown and how we have, through being better resourced constantly and building vaults and bringing in expert staff, it's rewarding to see how people, donors of material and makers of material, have great trust in us, and they're quite happy to give us their collections, to entrust them to us for preservation and for future exhibition to next generations.